Yeah. Bless up guys, Yannick Reed here and welcome to the channel. On this channel we like to talk about tech, creativity and lifestyle, focusing on photography and cinematography. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd encourage you to hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this one. With getting the new M1 Max MacBook, I thought it was a good time to speak about the apps that I use for my creative work. I work as a photographer, film director, a cinematographer, creative director, etc. Multiple things in the creative field, so that's the context under which all these apps fall, and I'm gonna dive right into the apps that I use and what I use them for. There's nowhere to really start other than using the Adobe suite. I have been using Adobe suite of apps for years. I used to crack the apps before when I couldn't afford it, but considering that I use these apps full-time for the work that I do, I thought it prudent that I pay for them so I can get the smoothest possible use out of these apps. So the first app, won't waste too much time on it, is Photoshop. Everybody knows about Photoshop. It's the most popular Adobe app. It is software that I primarily use for graphic design, poster design, branding. You know, when you have to do just a series of two-dimensional graphic design work, Photoshop is what you're going for. If you need to retouch a photo in depth, Photoshop is what you draw for. The next app on this list is Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is a vector-based design software, and it's pretty much the finishing point for most of my illustrative work that I start on my iPad. It's where I do my logo designs and designs for apparel, etc. Anything made in Adobe Illustrator can be infinitely scaled because it's a vector program, so it's good for t-shirts, it's good for logos, just anything that you need, like super high resolution, super sharp images. I usually start illustrative work in Procreate on my iPad, bring it over to my MacBook, open it in Illustrator, and that's where we just kind of do the finishing touches to turn it into a vector. So that's Adobe Illustrator. Alright, so the next app is Lightroom Classic. So I edit 99% of my photography in here. Like, all of my professional photography images go through here. Maybe there might be a 1% that gets edited on my iPad or my phone, but Lightroom is my bread and butter. I'm in this app like every week. It has its flaws, but I'm very proficient in the app. It also helps me to organize my photos, as well as I have developed most of my presets for editing inside this app to nail my look. Hint, hint, presets coming soon. digitalthings.store. Yeah. What I like is the most recent update allows for masking, which kind of offers a pseudo layer type workflow like Photoshop, which has really allowed me to fine-tune my images much more. So I am more in love with the application. I haven't moved over to Lightroom CC, which is the cloud-based version, because most of my workflow and photo organization I handle manually on my computer or on external hard disks, and I just prefer to do it that way. So that's Lightroom Classic. Next app, one of the least used apps, is Adobe After Effects, and this is an app for creating visual effects or VFX in film and video. I am pretty much a novice in this app because I've never really had a computer that could really properly manage After Effects, and I'm hoping to change that now because I'm using the M1 Max machine. So I'm dabbling more in After Effects, but it's always on my computer. And the added benefit is that it works great with the next app, Premiere Pro, my bread and butter. This video was edited in Adobe Premiere Pro. It's my video editing app of choice. I've been using Premiere Pro for over 10 years now. That's a long time to be using some software. And a lot of people ask me, why am I not using Final Cut or DaVinci? And mostly it's because I've spent so much time learning Premiere. You know, as a working professional, when I get a video project, my objective is to execute as quickly and as efficiently as possible, and I'm doing that repeatedly for my career. So one really has to designate separate time to learn these other apps to a level that you can execute professionally in there. And on top of it too, I like Premiere. Before I was a Mac user, I was using Premiere on Windows, so I'm just very comfortable in Premiere. Yeah, and it gets the job done, as well as I like how Premiere integrates with all of the other Adobe software like Lightroom, Photoshop, Illustrator, and After Effects. You can bring in a lot of projects from those other software into Premiere Pro. But at the same time too, I do want to learn other software now that I have such a powerful machine. So I'd say times are changing. And that brings us into our next set of apps. Vinci Resolve. I have been teaching myself Vinci Resolve, which is a non-linear video editing app, just like Premiere. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 years now, because it is the industry standard for color grading film and video. And I'm really interested in raising the bar, or raising my bar, as it comes to being able to color grade my film work. And in this process, where I'm at thus far is that I'm developing a workflow where I probably start my edit and cut in Premiere, and then bring it over into Vinci Resolve to do the color grading, and I'll probably send it back to Premiere to master the file and export it. If you are curious about Vinci Resolve, the great thing is that there is a free version that is very powerful, that is a perfect app if you have Windows or Mac and you want to learn to edit video for free. Vinci Resolve. There you go. All right, so this one, Apple Keynote. What a gem this app has been in my life right now. I build my treatments for videos, corporate film inside this app, as well as presentations. I used to use Adobe InDesign to do this process, which honestly I hated, because InDesign feels unnecessarily complicated when you're trying to do something as simple as just put maybe a few references together along with some text. InDesign is really more for making like books, and Keynote is just so well designed. I used to hate making treatments before I used Apple Keynote, and now I actually like to make treatments because of Apple Keynote. I really wish I knew about this app sooner. Everybody who knew that Keynote was so good and didn't tell me, I have beef with y'all. It's Apple only, of course, and if you've never opened it, I'd recommend that you open it and give it a shot. I can bounce out video treatments in a fraction of the time that it used to because of Apple Keynote. Bear is my note-taking app of choice. It syncs across all of my Apple devices. It's like Apple Notes, but with just some more features. I really like the ability to, one, export any one of my notes into a PDF format good for sharing notes with other people, and two, I can turn any note into a link, and I can embed that link into other software. That's really like high level productivity or software productivity, but basically I can just put a link to the app in my other apps, and if I need to reference something, I just tap that link and it just takes me directly to that bare note. Kind of overkill, but I like it. Next, the GOAT, Things 3. That's my to-do list of choice. Again, it syncs across all my Apple devices, and I can't talk about this app enough. I've spoken about this app before. I have my entire life in this app, which is probably why I can't show you it in depth. from my grocery store list to my laundry reminders to whole video production to-do lists. It's only Apple devices, unfortunately, and it's a one-time fee to buy the app. But after trying like every to-do app under the sun, this is where I am, this is where I stay. I love this app. Yeah, so I will link all of these apps that I spoke about today in the description. If you learned something in this video, just hit the like button. And if there's an app that you use for your creative work that you like a lot, share it in the comments, you know, share it for the other people who go come and watch this video. And I really want to see, because I love to learn about different creative apps, just like how none of my friends told me about Keynote. Just drop some apps in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And you should know what the protocol is. Go and take care of yourself, be good, and continue to bless up yourself.